on this edition of the Newshour Tonight. Soli Sorabji, someone I deeply respect, former Attorney General of India, one of journalism's best known, most respected voices, Vinod Mehta, editorial chairman of Outlook, outspoken former Cabinet Secretary of India, Mr. T.S.R. Subramaniam. Also with us today, Nirmala Sitharaman, national spokesperson of the BJP, Naresh Gujral, Member of Parliament of the Shiromani Akali Dal. With me in the studio here, Shazia Ilmi, who's a young woman's leader and a prominent leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. With me is Bharat Kumar Rao, Senior Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha from the Shiv Sena. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your participation. The participation of so many eminent voices through the day on Times Now today has given people a lot of hope. It's given me a lot of hope, and I thank you and I respect the fact that you've given us so much time. This morning I asked you, Soli Sorabji, how do we direct this? And I am only asking some questions in order to see whether this can get a direction. See, people are talking about a joint session of Parliament. There is genuine concern about the laws of rape, crime against women and children. Most lawyers say there are enough laws, but still people feel the existing laws don't provide enough deterrence. Mr. Sorabji.
No, Arnab, I don't think so. The real thing which doesn't provide deterrence is the way trials go on for a long period. Now, if you have a provision which says the trial must start within a month, as in this present case, it can start within a month, the culprits have been arrested, and must go on day to day and be concluded within 3 months.
Yes.
And that's not impossible, that's not fantastic. And then after the trial is concluded, stringent punishment. And today, under the existing law, in rape also, in certain circumstances, it can be life imprisonment. So what I'm saying is it's really the delay in that which makes the rapist feel, okay, now and after 7 years, 8 years, if he knows, okay, if he is going to get his just desserts within 4 months, that will be the biggest deterrent. But for that, two things are important. You must have competent public prosecutors to see the trial goes on day by day. They don't ask for adjournments, and they can deal with the technical points that lawyers for the accused put up with. And the judges who must be very clear about it. In this matter, there's no question of adjournment for convenience or anything. If we can enforce these laws effectively, then I don't think there's a great need for a change in law, except we want to say death penalty and castration. That I think we will leave it aside. So the focus must be on the great galvanizing of the national conscience which the youth has done. And we must sustain that momentum.
Mr. Sorabji, I'm going to take this forward, but I know that individual states have brought in separate legislation and tweaked legislation. Orissa has, it's tweaked 3 legislations, Tamil Nadu has. So I don't know what stops the centre from doing it, because obviously there is a lot of people who feel today existing laws don't work up. If existing laws worked and if it was only about convictions, that is one thing. When you are charge sheeted, whether you get convicted is another part of the process. The fact is, rapes are increasing. Cases of rape are increasing dramatically. Mr. Vinod Mehta, what do you think is holding the government and opposition and all political parties back from quick and effective action? Why are they having to be goaded so much when there are these kind of spontaneous protests for 2 weeks going?
What quick and effective action?
Arnab, in the torrent of words I have heard, I just want to make one suggestion. It is most critical that this anger and outrage is channeled, and so that we can effect meaningful change. I suggest that the protesters make out a charter of demands, which should be discussed at a special session of Parliament. It's people on television should make those demands. It's the people on the ground who are most affected by this should make out a charter of demands. I have heard enough intelligent voices on your program, and there are enough intelligent young people that they can make out these charter of demands, and if necessary they can consult some people, but these the young people, the people who are in the forefront, in the barricades, they are the people who must make this charter of demands. It shouldn't be imposed on them by somebody else. I mean, they are the people. We must, if their voices of protest are important, then their voices of correction should also be important. So let's hear their voices. Let's ask them to make a charter of demands, and they should go for the maximalist position, and that should be discussed in a special session of Parliament. And
how do you know, Mr. Mehta?
I think for anybody...
No, Mr. Mehta. Mr. Mehta, how do you know that will not get the same responses during Lokpal? Yes. Because at that time the political class says laws cannot be made outside Parliament. They cannot even be suggested outside Parliament.
But at the moment the problem is that we have anger and outrage, and we have all kinds of people making all kinds of suggestions. I would like to see a piece of paper with 9, 10, 12, 15 points made in consultation or by these people, so that we have something to go by to say that let us get this done. And if it is not done, then we will see who is what, and then these people will be exposed. Otherwise, this kind of bickering will go on. One party will blame the other, and this anger and this cannot last for months and months. No, at some point it will get dissipated.
Correct.
This defining moment in the youth of India, it will get frittered away. I am very scared that this a week or so will fritter away.
No, yes, but I think there are some ridiculous laws. For example, I find that attempt to rape, punishment becomes that of half rape. No, punishment becomes half of that of rape. Now, I don't know. How does this law exist in India today? Section 354 of the IPC, for example, which is assault or criminal act outraging the modesty of a woman.
We must have all these ridiculous things should be put on a piece of paper, so that we have something, we have some charter, we have something to go by. Otherwise, we have only anger and outrage. And people making statements. We need something to look at.
We'll make it concrete. But who will make it concrete? And who will make this a statutory body?
Let these young people, they are the people.
The government says we have put a commission.
It's the politicians, but let the people, the youngsters present it. The government is now thirsting for some kind of dialogue for these young people. But the young people don't want to have a dialogue.
But Mr. Mehta, the way the protest has been muzzled and the way lathi charge and tear gas shells have been used, instead of engaging with the people who are there, expressing the angst and years of suppressed anger at the system, which has not responded to their needs and something as basic as dignity of a woman and safety of individual, then how do you expect a bunch of citizens to come together, have a charter of demands and it to be met?
No, I'm not.
But then
as
we know. Then the system is. At the moment, the system says to you, the establishment says to you, I don't know what you want. Or they will say, 1, 2, 3, this is what we think you want. I am saying it's not the system who should tell you what the young people want. The young people should tell the system what they want.
What you're suggesting, I must say this, what you're suggesting is a very strong idea, it's a powerful idea, but Mr. Mehta, I don't know if the political class which is waiting for this to whittle away, die and dissipate.
So what is the answer, Arnab?
The answer, I'm asking that for, I'm asking today.
We must nail.
Yes, either the political class.
We must nail the political class. We must nail the political class by showing that they have a charter of demands. And they are still not doing anything.
None of the members of the political class have spoken yet. Nirmala, I'm coming to you. I'm sorry, I'm being a little unfair. I want to go to the non-members who are not from the political class first, and then come to the political class. And please don't think this is some form of new hierarchy on the news hour. I'm really sorry for that. But to TSR Subramaniam, do you think it is practical to do what Vinod Mehta says should be done?
Arnab, there is nothing wrong if that is done, but with this strong qualification that that group is very angry, it represents the youth of India, and not just Delhi, from all over India. They have no leadership. I am afraid a very callous, cynical leadership will divide them, get all kinds of different suggestions coming from all kinds of quarters, and spend a few. Okay, there is no harm doing that track for one. But lots of people know what the problems are. Lots of people know our police doesn't function. Somebody talked of swift and certainty in swift, and Mr. Sarabji talked about, absolutely vital. But we have to go one step further. 1 in 5 rape cases gets registered. The FIR is for auction. And usually so are we talking of that one case? Are we talking of that 6 cases? Then out of the cases which are registered, 1 in 10 comes a charge sheet. What about the 9 which fall between the stools? There is a huge problem with our system. Our police system has been politicized. It is corrupt. Our thanas are now auctioned. Our prosecution is in a huge mess. And therefore, there are 200 commissions which have given suggestions. It is possible today, in the Prakash Singh PAL, clearly 3 points have emerged. It is very easy for government to say, Supreme Court has given its imprimatur on this. All state governments and centre are in continuing contempt of the Supreme Court's orders. Tomorrow these shall be implemented. It's very easy, in one day. We have got a PAL of 86 officers, 25 chief secretaries, 3 chief election commissioners, 2 governors, 86 officers of secretary rank, pending PAL, pending before the Supreme Court. No affidavit denies what we want. We want security of tenure. We want scientific management. We want every instruction given to be recorded. This is what Santanam said. Santanam said Lokpal. So the point really is, system knows exactly
what the system is sexist.
Unfortunately,
Sir, the system is sexist.
Very, very cynical calculation.
The system is sexist.
Callous calculation today.
Sir, Mr. Subramaniam, Mr. Subramaniam, the system is sexist.
The hustings that these people have.
The system.
Can they do anything at all? And if the answer is no, nothing will be done.
No. Answer is not no, but the system is sexist. All our reports prove that the system is hugely loaded against women. Before I go to our political participants, Soli Sorabji wanted to come back again on that. Soli Sorabji, Section 109, you can outrage the modesty of a woman and be punished with 1 year simple imprisonment. I mean, what is this? This is making a joke of justice.
Special session of... No, I agree with you, Arnab. I'm with you. What I'm saying is special session of parliament is problematic. It may happen, not happen. Why not do these people submit the charter demands to the Verma Commission? I mean, that's a very high-powered commission. We know Justice Verma, man of experience and no-nonsense judge. The other members of the commission are also very, very experienced. Why not submit a charter demands to the Verma Commission? They may look into it. They may also suggest change in laws like what you suggested about outraging the modesty of women getting only 1 year. So why not take that route? Calling a special session of parliament, I think, is unlikely with the present government. Rather than that, use the Verma Commission is a good commission.
Justice Verma Commission is going to do its job, but I don't know if it is very, very difficult for the government on its own to push through, for example, an ordinance. Sushma Swaraj did urge a session of parliament. Arvind Kejriwal, I think, backed it. Mayawati wrote a letter to the Prime Minister in which she demanded calling a special session. But the answer...
Banerjee just did.
Even Mamta Banerjee did, but it was a no. Flat no. Why? Why was there a flat no? What is the great difficulty is my question. Nirmala Sitharaman, what is the great difficulty in calling a session?
No great difficulty.
Well, I don't know, but if there's no difficulty, then there's diffidence. Ms. Sitharaman?
Disinclination.
That question actually should be asked to the ruling party. I'm not trying to bring in a political dimension to the debate, but essentially holding a discussion or holding a session of parliament is essentially the government's work. And so many of us have said we need to have a special session.